great marijuana. That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Marijuana is referred to as Mary Jane, pot, weed, or tea.
That Michoacan, man, Acapulco Gold, man. I even smoke that tight stick.
We're smoking reefer.
The realest thing smoking on the internet. The Podheads Webshow.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4:20 on a Friday night in February. You're in the Cypher with the Podheads. I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Frank the Tank, and as always, I'm hanging with my very best buds, JB Perez.
What's up, my best buds, our fans. Feels good to be in the Cypher, baby. What's up?
And making C money.
What's up, everybody? It's Making C Money, chilling here in the Cypher with my boys at Making C Money on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Check me out. What's up, boys?
Chilling. This
guy is taking a. I don't know if our fans notice that our boy C Money over there has a drink in his hand. Yeah. It's not the first drink he's had this morning.
No, not at all.
And
it's
all good, man. Whatever
edge.
you gotta do to get on the edge. I like it, my man. Like
and,
a gentleman you are.
It's funny. We got to make sure we have a disclaimer for you people. By the way, just so that everybody that's watching this know, we don't condone the use of any illegal drugs or drinking underage or anything like that. But we're all grown-ass motherfuckers, and what we do, we take our responsibility for only ourselves. So if your kids are watching this shit and they're smoking, that's your problem, not ours.
It's 21 and over. It says it right on the channel. 21 and over.
Yeah.
Let's keep it civilized around here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, JB, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, so today's going to be a great show, everybody. We're going to talk 420. This is a show about our love for the 420 product and all our 420 fans. So we're going to do a segment called Weed and Week, where we're going to talk the Weed and Week. So we're going to talk 420 or Weed and Week. You know that every episode we got to talk Trump, so we got to revisit his State of the Union address because we got to. And then we're going to finish with these crazy-ass challenges that are happening all over the Instagram. Kids eating soap and other crazy-ass challenges. I'm telling you, man, this is one of those episodes, all right? Stick with us. You're at the Podheads, baby. Yeah.
All right, you're in the Cypher with the Podheads. Before we get started, shall we do this as we always do?
Yes.
Like always, sir. Yeah. You know, I didn't introduce you guys to this one, but this is a Playboy Bunny blue little bong water bong. I call it the Death Bunny because this shit hits pretty good.
Fucking Donnie Darko over there.
Hey,
Donnie Danko? You should
go.
call it Donnie Danko.
Hey,
Danko.
New piece, Donnie Danko.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And of course, as always, I got me a nice little fucking blizzy rolled up for the episode. Not my finest work by any means, but I kind of did it in a rush, a little last minute.
It'll get the job done, as long as it gets the job done.
Draws like a pencil.
Courtesy of my boy Freaky Clown over here. He's got a nice little fat joint rolled up for us. Yeah, man, fucking just chilling here with some Johnny Walker and a Jay, just getting in the zone, ready for a good show, boy.
A J and a J, eh? Yeah, I like it. I like it. So what's up, guys? What have you guys been up to since we last spoke? Anybody got anything interesting? Anything new?
It's definitely cool. Like I said, you know, in the last episode, it's amazing how when you can move to a different place, you make different friends. Like obviously with Frank and JB, I met you guys down in Florida when I moved. And I missed a lot of good times up here, up north with my friends that I grew up with. So like I said, it's bittersweet, obviously, leaving and going to the old place. But this year is all about making memories, putting money away in the bank so I could create those memories, come back down to Florida, hang out with you guys, go to Massachusetts or Connecticut, wherever the fuck JB is nowadays, and But yeah, man, it's cool. It's good to see old people for sure.
JB?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. We said it on the last show. We're moving back to your old stomping grounds and rekindling some of those relationships is always a good thing.
Yeah.
So definitely, that's cool. Let me go now because I have a heavy heart this week. Unfortunately, not many of my fans know, but I actually have 3 cats.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't know that? You cat lover over there and all those Instagram pictures. This guy is the crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
Money over there.
Yeah.
You motherfucker, you got 3. You sounded like the
that's
crazy
true,
cat
man.
lady.
So anyway, yeah, I had 3 cats, and one of them, the oldest one, a female, her name is Chewy. In fact, her name's Chewbacca, but we call her Chewy for short. And like I said, with a heavy heart, she passed away on us this week. And she was older, and it was expected, but you never really are prepared for anything like that. This was my first time ever losing a pet, so I actually took it a lot harder than I anticipated. I shed some tears and reminisce, and I'm like, damn, I really care for that cat. So, yeah, this week was kind of a sad week, but in hindsight, when you love an animal, it's like a part of you that's like separate or not. Let me take that back. When you love an animal, it's like a different part of you. Like it's like you could love like a child, a family member.
Sure.
It really is truly like that. And I really only realized that when I lost her. So let me put one up in the air. Let me take a big ass hit off of this for my girl Chewy. Rest in peace, little kitty. I'll see you soon.
It is amazing though, right? How, I mean, we have animals for anywhere from 10 to 15 to almost 20 years of our lives, and then they're gone. Yeah, they're like little children, man.
Well,
No,
animals.
we've had it for a decade plus, and she was a very big part of my life. I mean, our moves, she was visible to all my ups and downs, and
Sure.
and now she's gone. So it really is like a family member.
I find that I think that it's just interesting to me how the bonds that we build with animals, and it's different, right? Because the main thing, communication, right? You can talk to people, right? And you get to know they're good, they're bad, you share shit, whatever. But something about animals, that kind of unspoken bond that you just know, it's like this unconditional love. They can't tell you when they don't fucking like you, right? Maybe they'll go piss on something or growl at you, but
Right.
there's just this unconditional love, and there's just a bond there that you just really, it's hard to explain. My dog turned 3 in November. Actually, my dog Chesty, I'll put some pictures up of him. He's named after a Marine. Chesty Puller is one of my favorite people in all of history. Anyway, Chesty was born on November 10th, the Marine Corps birthday. So I only saw fit to name him after a Marine. But yeah, but he's 3 now. You know what I mean? And I think of all, how he's grown from the little pup that he is into the much bigger dog than I expected now. But I'm thinking dog years, man. I can't help but somewhere in the back of my mind already think, like, you know what? There's going to come a day a lot sooner than I want where he's not going to be around. And I think that it's just like with anything. You got to try to live in the moment as much as you can and try to enjoy those times. I sometimes I'll go days without talking to my dog, or without spending real time with him because I'm busy or I'm tired. And, there's other people in the house that'll feed him and walk him and shit like that. But, when things like this happen, I mean, I knew Chewy. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Chewy like she was a person, but I had my own relationship with Chewy. I lived, JB and I were roommates for a while, and that was the only cat of yours that actually fucked with me. The other two.
Was such a great people person.
Yeah.
I mean, a people cat.
Exactly.
She was just, she matched the personality of me in the household. She was very open and friendly. And yeah, man, it's crazy. Definitely a bond with an animal is not like anything else, like even separate from family members, because when you lose them, the pain is very similar to any great loss, right? But it is different. So yeah, for Chewy.
For Chewy. So anyway,
what about you, Frank? Your week, man.
Well, you know what? For me, man, it's been a rough week. Been pulling some hours. Been working out, hard. Changed my diet up, so I haven't been eating some of the shit I've, normally eat. And so, I'll be honest with you, it hasn't been the most pleasant week for me. I've been kind of grumpy into myself, And anybody that knows me knows that when I get grumpy, I'm just not pleasant. I'm very unpleasant to be around. So I just kind of stick to myself, and that's pretty much was the whole week. Is I didn't talk to many people. I didn't socialize much. I just kind of stood in my bubble. I'm tired. I took a nap before we got on here, so I feel much better. I got the energy up. I'm ready to record. I'm ready to have a good weekend. But ultimately, haven't done much. I'll tell you what I did do over the past 2 weeks, though, is I watched the State of the Union from President Trump. The first State of the Union that he's given, right? Obviously, if you don't know, State of the Union is pretty much where the president gives the people an idea of where we're at as a country, the progress we made, and gives you plans as to where he's going from there. And I think it was interesting. It was very interesting. It's hard to put in words what I saw there because, for one thing, Trump stuck to a very, very safe script. And in seeing a man speak, seeing a man give a speech that is well written by probably a much smarter and much classier person. When you see, yeah, exactly. I found myself almost forgetting that I was looking at Donald Trump, right? Because some of the things that were coming out of his mouth made sense. Some of the things were a lot very elegant, and the behavior was much better. So I found myself saying, is this something I can get behind? And then I had to remind myself that look who we're talking about here. Look who is really writing this speech. You know what I mean? And what is he really saying? It's funny because I got a reminder every time the camera panned out to Congress and showed everybody, all the blacks, Latinos, Democrats, them motherfuckers were not having exactly, JB, just John Trump's talking about unity, peace, social kind of, getting together. I'm drawing a blank on words here, but but integration and shit like that, and people are just not having it. I found that either some people, like the Republicans or the people that support Trump, were all about it, couldn't be happier, cheering, whooping, whatever. But the people that didn't Trump believe in him or trust him, they just weren't having it, not even trying to hear what he had to say. Just
they weren't eating the bullshit. I mean, and that's what it said. To me, if he didn't write it, if he didn't say it, then it's bullshit. To me personally, it all sounded like an inflated resume. All I heard was $100 million this, $350 million that, tax cuts this, jobs this. For like 2 hours, I felt like he just was like, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did.
He definitely took a victory lap, right? He talked about his accomplishments. The funny thing about accomplishments from presidents, especially in your first year, can you really take credit for those accomplishments?
Right, and that was my next point. Again, inflated, because those numbers, I'm sure, while very real and factual, I can't believe that it's tied to his presidency only being a year. That this
absolutely
takes years from behind. So again, I don't know the true facts of that. I haven't dug into that, but I bet you that's a very very true statement. That it's probably not all him.
Well, if you guys don't mind, if you'll humor me for a second, I wrote a couple notes. I'll give you a few key things that I thought that he, that were important that he ran over, and I'll give you one thing that I am totally in agreement. Well, I don't want to say totally in agreement with, but one thing that I support with Donald Trump. I try not to be biased. I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump, but I try not to be biased for the sake of anybody watching. Period. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to say, oh, these fucking spics and this guinea are over here bashing fucking Trump and whatever. So anyway.
Well, go ahead. I respect that there's somebody here trying to ground us because I feel a certain way about that. And I don't give him any credit. And so I am biased. And I went in there with those glasses of, here we go. What's this asshole going to say today? So again, maybe you can change my mind.
Sure.
So please, go ahead.
Okay. Well, a couple facts. It seemed the theme of this whole thing was America first, right? It seemed like he was trying to get people to get on board with this idea of, you know what? The other countries are the other countries. Hey, I'm down to help those guys, but America is our first priority. That's one thing I don't necessarily disagree with. But as I mentioned in earlier episodes, there's this very, very thin line between patriotism and nationalism. Two very different things. All right. Yeah. He says that within this first year, within 365 days of his presidency, this guy has created 2.4 million jobs, that wages are on the rise, that unemployment for blacks and Latinos is at an all-time low.
Oh, when I heard that, I'm sorry, I gotta stop you there. When I heard that, my skin crawled, bro. For Donald Trump to take credit for black people having jobs, for Hispanic people having jobs, bro, I wanted to run through the TV and like what's that, like fucking not Ryu, Mortal Kombat kick, bro. It was it just
Kang, bro.
Yeah, Liu Kang, man. I want to Liu Kang kick him right in the chest. Yeah. Because wow, like it's like he don't
the
even
audacity. You ain't even trying.
Yeah. Thank you. The audacity.
Yeah,
to
you
say
can't
you're
take credit
welcome.
for that.
You're welcome, because that was the attitude, you know.
He's made tax cuts that take effect this year. Okay, and these tax cuts are completely reforming the way we do business. Apparently, starting in February, Americans are going to have more take-home pay. He says that the average family is going to get tax cuts that return over $4,000 a year. So we'll see a year from now what people are saying. He says Apple is hiring 20,000 workers and investing $300-something billion in the industry in America. ExxonMobil in America. He mentions veterans' choice in healthcare. I think that the VA has needed a reform for a long time. He says that he's doing that. But, you know, that is kind of like, all right, well, we're going to reform the federal government and we're going to make it easier to get rid of people who aren't serving our veterans, who aren't serving America. But is he really doing that, getting rid of lazy shithead workers, or is he really making laws so that he can fire whoever the hell he wants, or that they can shift power however he wants?
Let me just say my piece, because I don't even pretend to know what I'm talking about when it comes to politics. I never really followed it, but when push comes to shove, I don't care what he says. He's a billionaire, and I'm not. And I know he doesn't care about people that aren't on his level. Give me a break, man. They just don't. They just don't. And we'll never be able to relate because we don't have that kind of money. So it's hard for people to say, well, that's not true. Like, how do you know? How do you know how you would act when you had billions of dollars? You could literally, like, you couldn't be told no. Like, you could
you wouldn't be in touch with reality. Yeah.
So I don't give a shit what he says he's going to do. And even if he does do things, I still feel like he's doing it to the bare minimum to get the applause. But behind closed doors, he's still benefiting from it greatly.
Well, let me go, before you give everything, before you get too far into how you feel about it, let me give you the rest of this here. I thought it was interesting that the FDA, he's approved more drugs to be sent out to fucking Americans, even though we have a record high in opiate addiction and opiate overdoses. He's approving more drugs to go through the FDA. Apparently, yeah, but marijuana is still fucking Schedule 1.
Money.
So, you know, there's that. He's talking about prison reform, which I think is a big deal. He says that he wants to make it more of rehabilitation than just fucking locking people up and making criminals out of them. There's a lot of money in prison. There's a lot of money in prison, and especially in the privatization of prisons. So if this prison reform involves getting rid of counties and privatizing it, you know that what he's talking about is just lining the pockets of more constituents.
That's all I hear is. All I hear is money, 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 money. Yeah. That's all I hear from you.
Now, to give the other argument, like you said, C-Money, maybe he's not interested in our needs, but he still has a job to do. Right? He still has a job to do. He has a very big ego. I'm sure he doesn't want to go down in history as the history's worst president. And the party has a job to do as well. So even though they might not have our best interests in heart, that doesn't mean that there might not be some positive coming out of some of these reforms. That's what I'm trying to look at, because there's nothing that we're going to do that's going to change shit. I will say this: immigration reform. He got rid of Obama's way of doing things, right? He says he's getting rid of DACA, which a lot of people are upset about. If you know about DACA, you know that
Dreamers.
it's the dependent children of immigrants, illegal
Illegal
immigrants,
immigrants.
and
Right.
so, but he replaced that with a 12-year naturalization plan. And basically, during that 12-year plan, you're going to be required to satisfy certain educational, vocational, like work requirements, as well as exhibit good moral character. So if you're fucking up, you didn't finish high school, you ain't got no real job, or you're working under the table, and you got a criminal record, you're fucking gone. I'm all for that, to be quite honest with you.
For the children who were born here.
I don't know if that's. I don't know. He didn't elaborate on the whole thing. I don't know if that's DACA or if that's just our natural. He said it's going to be a 12-year process to become a citizen of the United States. So I would imagine that's anybody that wants to become a citizen.
That's everybody. And you know what? If that's the truth, if that's okay, that sounds good. Okay, I want to see a little bit more how, instead of this is what I'm doing. Headline. This is what I'm doing. Clickbait. This is what I'm doing. How are you doing?
He's got 4 pillars to the immigration plan. One of the pillars is 1.8 million immigrant dependents can become citizens within 12 years. That's what we're talking about, pretty much replacing DACA. Borders. He wants to protect the borders. He still plans on building the wall. Who knows what the hell's going to happen with that? He's getting rid of catch and release, which is, guy fucks up. Instead of trying him here, you arrest an illegal immigrant and they just send him back to their respective country. Which I'm for that too. You ever seen Locked Up Abroad? You got motherfuckers that go and hell, one of our
worst.
Yeah, bro. You spend 20 years in a prison in fucking Guatemala because you smoked a joint or because you tried to bring coke on a plane or some shit.
So crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, that show's nuts, by the way.
He's increasing more federal jobs for ICE. He's ending the visa lottery, which a lot of people are not happy about that. You could do your own research on the visa lottery. That's kind of a lot to go into. And he's ending chain migration. A lot of people were not happy about this. And chain migration is basically where JB moves in from Mexico, and then JB brings his wife, his kids, then his mother-in-law, then his fucking mother-in-law's cousin, and their children, and you know what I mean? All basically living with you, or based on your credentials. He's getting rid of that shit.
I think he wants to hit the reset button. I think we should end on this because I get hot. I get hot. I think Donald Trump wants to be the immigration guy, the immigration president. I made this country safer. So he's going to do what he has to do. He's going to build a wall. He's going to throw millions of dollars on ICE, on federal, cops and all that stuff. If they have a plan for refugees, for people from other countries who want to come to America and have the same chances, because I'm a human guy. I'm a people person. It breaks my heart when refugees are dying and have nowhere else to go. Nowhere else. So if you have a plan, then I can get with that. I don't like you as a man, as a person, but you know what? You got a job to do. You're going to do it right. I'm with you, Donald Trump. But we'll see.
Yeah. I will make one prediction. It seems like that motherfucker Donald Trump is just teasing us every time he gets on TV about impending action in North Korea. I'm going to make a prediction that before his term is over, because he's not getting reelected, that there will be American forces, whether it's kept under secret or not, in North Korea before the end of his term. So you heard it here on the podcast.
All right, let's move on because I'm tired of this. What we're going to talk about, our 420 segment, we should have started the show with it, right?
I totally fucked that up. My bad.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Let's take a hit. Everybody take a hit. And let's go right into our weed segment. Weed and weed.
This week in weed.
Yes, week of weed. We'll make a song or a hit thing on that.
Sweet.
So the intention of this segment is to just bring our fans and our listeners and our viewers news, fun facts, anything that we deem awesome and important to know about weed this week. Our weeding week. So let's get right to it. Since I wanted to be the host of the first segment, so here I go. The very first news that we have in Weeding Week. Let's congratulate the state of Vermont. Everybody give me a round of applause for the state of Vermont. The state of Vermont has legalized marijuana through government action, not through a vote. And that's a very good precedence because now other states don't have to wait and aren't afraid to pass this law and move from all this bullshit. Thank you, Vermont, for being the first man up and not being afraid of what everybody else is gonna say. They passed the law themselves, 81 to 63 in their Congress, legal in Vermont. So thank you very much. Weed in week, Vermont.
Can I just say one thing while you're talking about that? You'll probably have to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure that it's, if not official, but it's damn close, that there are more states that there's some legal form of marijuana, whether it's medical or recreational, than there are states that it's not legal.
Done. So it's already swung on the other side.
Yep.
Okay. So everybody get on board. Let's go.
I think Jersey will be next, man. Watch. The new governor vowed within 100 days legal. And it's been, I don't know, fucking 5 or whatever. But
Easy.
I think Jersey might be next.
Yeah.
Perfect. You know what? And I'll tell you what. My next news in Weed and Week is another state who took a step.
In weed.
Damn, what I said? Weed and Week?
Weed and Week.
Weed and Week. The weed. It's an alliteration,
this
right?
week in weed.
What is it? What does an alliteration mean?
What?
You want me
You mean if you're illiterate? Is that what you mean? What do you mean?
I thought, when you have words that like have a W in the beginning and the end, weed and week. I don't know.
This week in weed, like you're saying, this week in weed, in the subject of weed, in the field of weed. You know what I mean?
All right. So let me just slow it down. This week in weed. The next story in week in weed comes out of Texas. So let's give a round of applause for Texas for taking another step forward.
I love Texas.
Texas has allowed the first medical marijuana patient. So that's a very good thing. As a bonus for Texas, it is a 6-year-old patient is going to be the first patient to receive medical marijuana. So thank you, Texas, for taking a step.
Put one in the air for Texas. Don't mess with Texas either.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking, I will say one thing on that, just to give you a little tidbit. Guys, check out our Facebook, the Podheads Webshow. I can't believe we haven't even talked about our social media yet. But check out our Facebook. We got some big news. HempFest 2018 is coming. We're going to be there again. We were there last year. That's where a lot of the world fucking was introduced to the Podheads. So come out there. It's in Lakeland, Florida, October 24th through the 26th, I think. We'll give some more details. We'll get a link where you can get tickets. But come out, show some support. Because HempFest is a beautiful thing. It's not just an excuse for people to get together and smoke. There's actually a lot of good people there, veterans for marijuana. There are people, great vendors, great bands that come out there. But the stories, the people that you meet is awesome. I talk to people who have children with disabilities, children with who are on the spectrum, who have autism, and children who have all kinds of ailments who use CBD and medical marijuana to help treat their kids, and the stories are just so touching. You know what I mean?
They're awesome.
Yeah. If you want to hear our last HempFest episode, it's actually on Podbean, iTunes. Go on there, check it out. You can hear some of the stories, some of these very touching stories. You can hear some of the bands and some of the cool things that happened last year if you want to get an idea of what's going to happen this year. So check it out.
It'll be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah. So go ahead, JB.
Great.
My bad. Go ahead.
All right. No, that was a great reminder. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll fit, we started in the East Coast going to Texas, and I will end in the West Coast. Let's give a round of applause to San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
San Francisco, thank you very much. I believe it is the first city, okay, who are going to reverse, essentially throw away, clear all misdemeanor convictions of
Oh,
marijuana
nice.
going back to 1975.
Damn.
That's incredible.
Almost 50 years.
That's
San
crazy.
Almost 50 years.
Francisco.
Bro, thank you very much.
Bro.
Thank you very much. I want to make sure we give the shout out to the right people. The San Francisco District Attorney's Office. And I'm trying to look at who was the mover here. I can't see it, but you know what, San Francisco, thank you very much. That is a great precedence because that is the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Right thing.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
So many people and lives and families have been, essentially changed, sometimes for the worse. I mean, most of the times for the worse for these BS, convictions. So this is a great move.
We should try to find anybody involved with that and see if we can holler at them. See if we can get
we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. If anybody that is out there who has been a recipient of something like this, if San Francisco is not the first, but something like this, we would love to interview. Yeah, get into Cypher.
I think, guys, San Francisco might be the most progressive city in the United States.
Possibly.
It is. I believe so. It is the most expensive as well. Just to throw it out there.
You sure not Beverly Hills or something?
No, I'm almost certain it's San Francisco. That's where Silicon Valley is. So all that area is super expensive. But you're right. I mean, it's like hipster. The whole West Coast is very hipster, open, acceptive mentality. Change is good kind of people. And California is moving along too. And having the state with the most people in it doing good things like this is great. So definitely shout out to San Francisco.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the week in weed.
All right, everybody. When we come back, we're going to talk about some ridiculous shit I seen on the internet the other day, the Tide Pod Challenge. And we got some other challenge Frank the Tank told me about. It's just amazing what kids want to get into nowadays. But check us out on all social media, guys. YouTube. Hit subscribe for us, please. Please share the love. Appreciate the grind. Making C Money on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be right, guys. Enjoy this clip.
Yeah.
You're back in the Cypher with the Podheads. It's your boy Frank the Tank, your commander-in-chief, hanging with JB and C Money. It's the Podheads.
I hope the boxes are right.
I'm gonna have it backwards as fuck. Yo, look for us on Instagram, iTunes. Look for us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're on iTunes. We're on Podbean. So you can, if you got an iPhone or Android, you can listen to the past episodes. We're on YouTube, obviously. So stay, keep abreast of what's going on. Leave your comments. Subscribe. Set up for alerts. Let us know what you think. If you want to be on the show, I don't give a damn who you are. If you got something interesting to talk about, holler at us. We'll Skype you in. So, speaking of technology, Instagram, right? There's been some crazy shit going on. These challenges, they've gotten a little bit out of control.
Stupid.
We've gone from ice bucket challenge, planking, mannequin challenge, to fucking Tide Pod challenge. Now shit's getting dangerous. All right, people have gotten bored, and now it's, if you're not taking your life in danger, we're not interested. C Money was telling me about this Tide Pod challenge. I had no idea about. What's going on?
I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. And just before I get into it, I just wanted to say to everybody, please subscribe to our video. Click that little red button for us, please. It's exactly what it sounds like. And Frank the Tank, you have kids, especially one, almost two, who are of age to be getting into trends from YouTube. They're of that mental capacity to start. You know what I'm saying? They're of that age now, or influence.
I take pointers. I take pointers for our show from my 13-year-old.
Exactly. And JB, just imagine if you had a kid of age in the 13, 14, whatever, maybe 12. Their kids are literally biting, and some are ingesting Tide Pod, laundry detergent pods. And it's so bad that Tide actually had to release on Twitter that they are only for doing laundry and nothing else, quote. And I think I actually heard a rumor that they may be taking them off the market completely now.
Wow.
Motherfucker, I use those things. They're good as
I
shit.
use
bro.
them.
These fucking stupid ass kids, bro. What do you guys think it is? Do you really think it's all purely just the attention, I want to become famous online thing? I mean, they're really risking their lives for this shit. Like,
I'll say
I mean,
this. I'll say this. I'll say this.
if your kids did this shit, what would you
Yeah.
like?
First and foremost,
Mouth.
first and foremost, I will say this. Those things look delicious. I'm sorry, but
They do.
but shame on you, Ty, for making them look so goddamn good. You should fucking just make them plain. Just put them in a fucking white plastic thing, or put like an X on them with a skull and crossbones, some shit. Toxic. People are still gonna use them. They don't need to look like fucking candy to fucking do it. And I know these kids know they're not candy. You're fucking morons who are trying to get famous. But yeah, it's insane. I talk to my son about these things, and this is why you'll never see my kid doing stupid shit like this, because I show him these videos and I say, look at these fucking little idiots. You see this? This kid's gonna get so sick. I think when he was like 11, I put soap in his mouth for cursing, and trust me, that kid does not want to fucking put a Tide Pod in his mouth. So if you're a good parent and you're paying attention to what the hell your idiot kids are doing, because all kids are idiots. I'm sorry. My kid's 13. He's bright, but he's an idiot because he doesn't know shit. I let him know that. You don't know shit. Trust your dad. You got to talk to your fucking kids, man. You got to talk to your kids.
I mean, you're right. It's where the hell are the parents? Like, when I saw this in the news, I was like, what? Like, is this a thing? Like, I'm down with the challenges. In fact, JB wants all to do all the challenges, not poison myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's, I try to think about these things. Like, I would never understand these kids, except to the point that if they're on social media, YouTube, I mean, we're kind of trying to do it the same thing. We want to get likes and subscribes, and, we'll probably do almost anything. Yet we're not going to eat Tide Pods because we know the consequences. Is it that these children don't know the consequences of it? Or like, I mean, I was a rebel, but I would have never, I mean, really?
I don't know, bro.
I don't.
How do you, even at 13 years old or 12 years old, how do you lack the common sense to know that you probably shouldn't eat this, and if you do, it'll make you sick, number one. And number two, there's no guarantee that they're going to become famous from doing this. So if someone came up to me and said, hey, look, I'm going to offer you 10 mil to fucking chew on this son of a bitch, I'm going to chew on it because I know I'm getting $10 million, bro. But these kids, they're just going to get maybe 10,000 likes or some shit. But that's enough for them to fucking...
Frank said kids don't know shit. I mean,
No.
and he's right. They don't. There's no correlation to the future. No reaction.
It's a lack of wisdom. It's a lack of
Right.
wisdom because of experience. I believe, I don't know who, but somebody told me a long time ago that wisdom is being able to tell the future, to predict the future based on the past. Right? By remembering the past. And if you think about it, that's as simple as saying, if I do this shit, this is going to happen because it's already happened or I've seen it before. So you only become wise by either studying, right? Or learning or by experience. And these kids just don't. They're not in the books. They're not at home, doing what the hell they're supposed to do. They're out doing Instagram videos, doing dumb shit. And they just don't know no better. I've done stupid shit, and I'm not saying I'm better than any of them. When I was 13, I was doing dumb shit too. You know what I mean?
You're not eating something that could kill you. I mean,
No.
That. These kids know this.
Okay,
right?
but tell me you haven't done something in your life that, thinking back in retrospect, probably could have killed you if you weren't lucky.
That's true.
So
maybe. Yeah.
So because you didn't think, because you just didn't know, or you didn't think, this is probably dangerous, but I'm going to risk it anyway.
You know what? I'm going to go out on this note. I understand you tripping on acid, grabbing one of those things thinking it's a sour candy or a fucking gummy candy or some shit, but fully aware of your surroundings and just saying, I want to get fucking 20,000 likes is fucked. But Frank the Tank, you told me about the Ain't Lacking challenge. What is that? Because I don't know what
I haven't heard that shit.
JB, bro. Ain't Lacking challenge is the craziest shit I've ever heard of.
All right.
Okay.
While you're talking, I have.
Hold
to
on.
Google it.
I'm gonna paint a picture for you before.
right,
I don't want you
go
to
ahead.
Google it. I want to
Raise
paint a
your
picture for
hand,
you. Okay. I go up to your house. I ring your doorbell. Okay. You know me. I even may tell you, hey, I'm on my way. I ring your doorbell. When you answer the door, in my left hand I have my phone. In my right hand I have a gun pointed at you. Okay. Now, the appropriate response is what? What do you guys think the appropriate response would be?
What the fuck are you doing, nigga? Get that shit out
Slam the
my
door, something. I
face.
don't know, right?
Yeah, like what
Okay.
the fuck are you doing, nigga?
No.
Bro, it was literally. It
If
would
I
have
know
been
you.
all right. Like, like, what am I gonna do? Like,
The ain't lacking challenge is the other guy then is supposed to calmly pull out his gun and point it at the guy with the phone. And then they just kind of do a little stare down, like a little standoff, and walk away. These are friends doing this. This is the ain't lacking challenge, bro. And it's already gotten a poor fucking kid killed. A 17-year-old, I think, out of South Carolina, North Carolina, in a diner, in a fucking diner, sitting down, having some food, got killed because, and you know what, shame on me for not having the kid's name in the story, but look it up. I mean, the kid got killed by an older guy. I think it was like a 32-year-old dude who, you know, pulled out the gun, pointed at his head, and I guess by mistake pulled the fucking trigger, shot the kid in the head.
Fucking
And
Christ.
yeah,
Really, dude?
according to the report, the guy was clearly distraught, and you know, I mean, he didn't do it on purpose, but
Right, he was doing the challenge,
but
quote
yeah, I mean,
unquote.
come on.
But these are
When
the
does it fucking
things.
end?
Like, where's the common sense, Lo? Like, aren't you afraid? I mean, hopefully, if you have it illegally, you're an idiot. If you have it legally, not only should you know, I'm pretty sure you could, or you should lose your fucking license if you do something stupid like that. So, like, I don't understand the attention. Like, I want attention for the show. I'll do almost anything, but these like life and death.
Yeah, that's
It's just I don't know. It's mind-boggling, right?
it
I
is
feel
my
old as shit because I don't get it, man.
And I know I'm an asshole every time I say it, but I've said it so many times on the show. It's natural selection, dude. Like you can't. There's no
modern day.
fucking
It's
lemmings.
natural selection. I mean, honestly, what possesses you to do something like that? Just for again likes and shit.
I want to ask you one thing. Do you think times have really changed though? Maybe 100 years ago, motherfuckers would jump in a barrel and throw themselves off of Niagara
Of
Falls
Niagara Falls.
to get famous, right? So walk across the Twin Towers on a fucking wire thinner than their foot. So I mean,
So what are you saying? There's nothing left to do so let's eat Tide Pods? I get what you're saying, homie. I get it. We did
people
shit.
run out of
We did
ideas.
crazy shit like that, but like, so
But maybe
blatant. I don't know. I don't.
I-
get it.
maybe
I'll-
this
I'm
is
just
all the
saying.
stupid shit, man. Like, like this is the stupid shit we would never hear about if social media didn't exist. But now we're hearing about all this stupid shit. You know, it's fucked.
I'm just saying.
It's what gets likes, though.
Peop-
I mean, look
yeah.
at what happened to it. All these videos got millions of. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
true.
know.
Yeah.
Something's
Because
going
people
on
are
here,
fucking
man.
weird. I mean, we all have that
We gotta
weird
get
side.
weird, guys.
yeah.
We gotta get weird.
I get weird.
Yeah.
Staying relevant, you know, I've been a fan of let's say the UFC for a long time, and I don't know
no
if you
doubt.
guys were a fan or JB you were, but Ronda Rousey,
definitely.
man, fucking Ronda Rousey is officially in the WWE right now. And Frank the Tank, you're a wrestling fan. I know Big Ace, who's been on the show many times, a big wrestling fan. I just want your guys' opinions. I mean, I love her. I think she's awesome. I do think she had a little bit of a free ride because a lot of chicks weren't that good when she was undefeated. Now, obviously, we're seeing some of these badass chicks who she can't beat. But you know what? She's fucking super rich and she was famous and I'm not. So hand off to her. But what do you guys think about her trying to stay relevant going into wrestling? It's a totally different genre. It's all about entertainment. And, you know, what do you guys think? I want opinions.
Well, you know, I'll just say this. Brock Lesnar did it. He was in the WWE first and then went, you know, but I mean, he was in other independent shit too. Ken Shamrock did it. You know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah, he
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of reputable people who, and there's others, and you know, there's a few other people, a few boxers who have gone into it. Their names escape me right now, but plenty of people have done it. I mean, the point is this: Ronda Rousey, she's definitely talented, definitely a badass. But I think that JB is right in the sense that, you know what, she got into the female fight game in the UFC kind of in the beginning. She was like the first big star out of females because she was just better than the first generation of females that got in. But now you have female who have been you have women who've been training a lot longer since childhood and who have been honing their skills and so I mean the average fighter is just that much better now. So the people who are the stars, I mean, they're, you know, she just can't hang with them anymore. You know, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, personally, would I want to take a couple 100,000 to take a big fight and get my fucking face pummeled, or take a few million to pretend to get punched? You know, and I'm not saying.
That what wrestlers
oh, she's making millions with the WWE. I promise you. I
Oh
promise you.
I didn't expect that.
No, I promise you,
oh,
she's
that's
making.
a great point.
Yeah.
So kudos to hers for knowing, knowing herself.
She's getting
knowing,
paid.
Like,
yeah.
That's stupid. Remember, she did make movies, so she knows she has the taste for that kind of lifestyle and that acting and exactly. So
and she's tough, bro. The bumps are real. Let me just say that before anybody thinks, when I say pretending, no, there's acting, but the bumps are real. I mean, you got to be tough and you got to be in good shape. And those are two things that she is. She's obviously skilled, so her skill set fits perfect into that. And if she can pull off the acting part of it, because, I mean, hats off to a lot of these WWE stars, because my God, some of these guys are huge, muscle-bound motherfuckers, and they are great actors, bro. One of my favorite wrestlers is The Miz. He's not a big, giant guy, but The Miz is a fucking hell of an actor. When that guy goes out there, he leaves it all, he leaves it all out there. He's a bad guy, a heel.
Look at The Rock, man.
Yeah, The Rock, he's a megastar, right?
You know what I'm saying? Great
and look at, and John Cena's now taking over, he's stepping into that role now too,
Ronda Rousey is going to bring a contingent of female fans to the WWE, and that probably have been lacking for some time.
Actually, no, I mean not for nothing. I've been paying attention. My kid's really into it, so I watch.
Okay,
but there has been a revolution in the past few years of female wrestling superstars, and it is huge, bro. The last few pay-per-view events have been headlined. The main events were female wrestling. They just had the first all-female Royal Rumble, which put one in the air for the female wrestlers out there. For all, matter of fact, there's one from right here in Orlando. God damn it, Naomi. She's from Orlando. The Glow. She has a great, she comes out with all kinds of black light and fluorescence and dances. I mean, these women go in, bro. They are superstars, and they're in great shape. They kill it. The storylines, they do a great job. I think Ronda Rousey can fit into that.
Right in,
I don't think she brings any. I mean, she might bring some fans from the UFC over, but
maybe.
That's what I'm trying to. She has a name that brings some.
She has a following. Sure.
It, right.
Yeah.
So I just think
it's a win-win.
It's
a win-win
for everybody, really.
But she's been getting some boos. I don't know why. People hate.
Because that's why, because they hate that there's no logic behind it. They're just jealous and they hate. You're telling me if you couldn't be handed her career or her life right now, you wouldn't take it? Come on.
Yeah.
But
bro, if I got knocked the fuck out in the damn octagon, and then I got choked out, and then a motherfucker said, here's $1 million to just come and
I got one for you. Now that you're talking about that,
that's probably kind of mean. Cut that out.
No, we're leaving that right there because it's a great segment to these rumors that we've been hearing. We're talking UFC, right? About Mayweather maybe walking into the octagon. What the hell is that about?
I think JB might take my side. Frank the Tank thinks I'm crazy, but JB,
this guy's crazy.
I would not put it past them. He don't need the money, but he wants the money, just like a billionaire wants more money. I don't put it past the UFC because McGregor in the title is still up for grabs. Even the guys fighting for the quote title don't really know what's going on, and they've said themselves that they're frustrated. I would not put it past them to come out with a super fight with Mayweather McGregor in the octagon. They plan the whole fucking thing out, and McGregor just taps him out by submission. He ain't gonna knock him out. They're not gonna let him get hit like that, this, that, and the third. Tell me I'm crazy, JB. I know you take my side.
Yeah, you are crazy, one, because every time, because what you're saying is exactly what will happen. Maybe McGregor will toy with him a little bit because he probably could, but one leg kick, to the leg, a takedown, and it's over. I mean, an 0-0 UFC fighter, I'll give you 1 point. Mayweather, I believe. I don't know Mayweather. I'm not gonna act like I do, but I think he uses his money as a, like he wants more. To your point, he wants more. So if he got paid $100 million guaranteed to get knocked the fuck out or choked out, he might, but it won't happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. I don't think this is ever going to happen. Floyd Mayweather is never going to be so broke that he needs to get into the octagon, let alone with Conor McGregor.
For money. It's not about going broke. It's about more.
Either. Well, there's rumors. There's rumors going around that he's hurting for cash because all those IRS rumors from. Remember the rumors from last year where people were saying that he owed so much money to the IRS and he was broke. Okay. That's why he did the fight with Conor McGregor.
Oh, okay.
And so, but I don't think so. I don't think he's broke in the least bit. And I don't think that he needs to get into the octagon for any reason. It just doesn't make.
I want to see that. It'd be a circus. I mean, that's why they would both get paid $100, because everybody would see it just because it's a damn festival.
I heard a rumor. That McGregor might be looking to fight Pacquiao.
I'm done with these fucking bullshit rules.
Out there, guys, check us out. Hit the subscribe button for us,
yes,
please. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at the Podheads Webshow. I am at Making C Money. JB, to you.
Podheads JB is my handle on all social media platforms. Please subscribe, like, comment on us. We really want this to be an interactive type of thing, because then it'll motivate us to come out with more content for you guys. And with this 420 community, man, it's all about love, brother. So hit us up, subscribe. Thank you for all your support. It's the Podheads, baby. Frank.
Well said. It's your boy Podhead Frank on Instagram, on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook. iTunes is where you can listen to us. Podbean. And now we're on YouTube. So definitely show some love, subscribe, like, holler at me, holler at us. If you want a fucking t-shirt, we got a few, bro. If you like these, I think these things are very sexy. So if you want a t-shirt, inbox us, send us a message, and we'll get one sent out to you just for showing us some
subscribe
love.
First, and then
Squid pro quo.
Squid pro little tit for tat. But yeah, also again, guys, subscribe. Check out the Hempfest episode. This is Making C Money. Love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.